Welcome back to Ruby on Nails, and no, I'm not playing with eyeshadow. Now you might have seen the thumbnail for this video and been like, why are we playing with eyeshadow? This isn't a makeup channel, this is a nail channel. Though sometimes I think about doing makeup videos. But Madam Glam was very kind to send me their brand new pressed pigment palette. This one in particular is the Harmony Pigment Palette, and I'm personally not a huge fan of nudes. However, these pigment palettes come in a variety of colors. This is just the one that was sent to me, and I'm gonna use the free product, okay? Now, this particular palette is 8 matte shades, and then it also includes 1 holographic shade. And it kind of works the same way that chromes, the loose chrome powders, work. Basically, you are going to be putting them on like a little sponge applicator and then rubbing them onto your nails to get the desired effect that you want. However, the thing with these is that they don't have that shiny chrome finish, and it's much more of like a matte, nudie kind of airbrushed effect, if you get my meaning. Basically, the idea behind this is that you're not wasting a ton of product, because when you use those loose pigments, you end up with a lot of overspray on your cuticles, maybe you accidentally pick too much up on your sponge, and you end up wasting a lot. Personally, for me, I hate cleaning that crap out of my cuticles because it is never ending. It's like a week later and you're still finding green chrome shoved underneath your cuticle, and it's now grown out and it's like in the next manicure and you're like, what the fuck is this? I washed my hands. So basically the whole idea is to avoid that. Now, if you are a VIP member, this palette is gonna go for $17.53, but if you're not, the price point really jumps up to a whopping $38.95. Personally, do I think that's worth it? Maybe not for these particular colors. I'm not a big nude person, but if you are and you're into a no mess situation, it might be for you. But that price point really fucking scares me off. I think if they were to come out with like a rainbow palette, I would be much more interested in that. I personally like really bright, colorful nails, and nudes aren't really my thing. In this video, you can kind of see that I tried to make this as colorful as possible and make it fit my personality and my kind of fashion aesthetic. Now, on the website, they're advertising this as something that you can use for French manicures, for ombres, for a lot of different types of nail arts. But I'm going to show you today using 2 of the colors to make kind of a nice little ombre. With all that said, let's go ahead and jump into the tutorial. I really wasn't joking when I said this looks like an eyeshadow palette you could pick up from the drugstore, but please do not put these on your eyes. They are not for your eyes, they are for your nails. Despite them looking like they could go on your eyes, they do not go on your eyes. With that out of the way, these are the pigments that I am going to be using today, and I feel like I just don't know enough about how to use these to do it well. But here is my interpretation of the instructions. I'm starting off with 2 coats of Magnifique by Madam Glam on my nail, and then I'm applying a matte top coat from Twinkle Tea. I do not have a Madam Glam matte top coat, so that is the top coat I'm using. And once that has been cured for 60 seconds, I'm going to rub my first pigment onto the tip of my nail. I'm going to be covering about 3/4 of my nail. I'm making sure that the majority of the pigment is at the very tip of my nail, and I'm using that blank edge of my sponge to really rub that pigment down. I'm then going to be taking yet another coat of matte top coat, and I'm going to be curing that for 60 seconds. Once that's cured, I'm going to take my second pigment and I'm going to be rubbing that primarily on the tip of my nail, and again using the clean side of my sponge to rub that pigment down. I do want to be careful that I'm not over coating the area. Then I'm going to be taking some nail glue and I'm going to put some little flowers over this ombre effect, and
did I realize that matte top coat was kind of hydrophobic? No, I did not. So my gel nail glue started to evaporate, or whatever that effect is called. But whatever, we press on. I'm then going to press on some dried flowers that I got from God knows where many, many years ago. I wish I could remember, and then I'm going to take my dirty little finger and press into that glue. It looks really fucked right now, but once we get that clear top coat on, it's going to look just fine, like you never touched that wet gel with your bare hand ever. I don't recommend doing that. Use a sponge or something. I'm just dumb, okay? These tiny little red flowers were a real bitch and a half, but whatever, they got on there eventually. I'm then going to take my clear gel top coat. I don't have a Madam Glam one right now, so we're using what I have. Once this top coat is on, things do look much better. I'm sure there is a more professional way to do this, but this is what I could do with the products that I had at home, trying to fight that stupid hydrophobic little effect that matte top coat was doing. This entire process was just kind of frustrating, and I think it's mostly just because I'm inexperienced. But that's the finished look, and I was actually very happy with it. I think it came out really pretty, and I think I'll do this in the spring. It's not so much fall though. I'm hoping that the more time I have to play around with these, the better I'll get at it, and I'll be able to share my tips and tricks then.
Okay, so now that you've seen the nail art, what do you think? Now, what do I think about this palette? Well, I thought the product applied pretty nicely. I definitely will admit that there's a bit of a learning curve for me personally. I did not enjoy the fact that I had to apply multiple layers of matte top coat to achieve a much more opaque look to it. One of the things that I like when layering standard nail polishes is that you can just add another layer of the color itself. And personally, I think it's really easy to create an ombre effect with standardized nail polish, where you put the two colors on your sponge and then you sponge it there and they kind of blend together to make their own little thing. So to me, I think a lot of this just comes from the fact that I don't have a lot of experience with gel. I don't have a lot of experience making nice ombres with gel, and I just feel like this kind of adds a whole lot of step. You're adding in a whole extra top coat, that matte top coat, and for me, I personally like having shiny nails. So it was just like a lot of steps. It was kind of tedious, and will I be using this product again? I think I will, because I really do want to give it a shot. I'm just hoping that there's a different color scheme in the future that just speaks to me personally. I think that was my biggest hiccup, is that I'm just not a nudes fan, and the browns in this collection weren't brown enough for me. Like, I wanted to get like a really cool dark brown ombre effect, and so it would be more fall-like. I had this idea that I could do like some fall leaves on top of a nice rich brown ombre, but the browns in this collection were a lot pinker than I wanted, and so the whole idea kind of fell through, and this turned into more of a spring manicure than a fall one. But those are my thoughts. Definitely let me know what you think in the comments down below. Also, definitely let me know if you're interested in seeing a tutorial using eyeshadow. I know for me personally, I have many eyeshadow palettes with many more colors that I personally am just more drawn to, so let me know if that'd be something you'd be interested in. I think the same kind of process would apply, and I've played around with eyeshadows in the past, and I think they've achieved very similar effects, so definitely let me know what you think. Also, if you are a professional gel nail artist, let me know how you use these pigment palettes or what your opinion on pigment palettes are. I'm very curious to hear what a professional has to say, so I'll leave it at that.
Wow, that was kind of serendipitous. I don't know why, but my camera decided to cut off there, and all I had left to say was, if you like this video, and if you like my videos, make sure to subscribe. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.